Good morning, students. This is JC Benoy, your SST teacher, and I hope you are all doing well and are taking care of yourselves. All right. Um, it's a nice rainy day today, and I love the rains because it brings about a lot of freshness, and it washes away the dry old life of ours and fills it with a lot of greenery, which signifies to me a fresh start. So whenever you look, you can see the beginning of new life. So that is why I like the rainy season, and it makes me feel very good. So that's how it is today over here. I hope you all are all enjoying too at home and taking care of yourselves, but also have started taking your studies seriously. Okay, I am getting a lot of worksheets today nowadays, the ones which I have sent, so that's very good. But I still know that there are many children who have not yet done their worksheets and who have not yet watched the videos. So those who have not yet gotten serious about the work, about their studies, please start getting serious about it. It's high time you did. All right. So today, as you can imagine, as you can see, I've actually put up a picture up on the screen. Correct? What does this picture show? Okay, look at it a little more closely. What do you think it shows? Can you write it down? Okay, so according to me, it looks like the globe. We have studied about globes and maps. So if you pay attention, it shows the different continents in our world, right? So it shows the different continents, and what are there in the continents? Countries, correct? So it shows that the countries, it's the world that is surrounded by olive leaves. Those leaves are of the olive tree. All right, so it shows the olive leaves protecting the earth. Okay, now why olive leaves? Olive leaves actually are a signify peace actually. Okay, a truce. So that is what they signify. So it shows peace around the world. Okay, now why this particular image? There may be different significances for other people, but to me that is what this picture talks about. Okay, so this image is actually that of it is the logo of the United Nations. Have you heard of the United Nations? Have you heard of the United Nations? Have you heard of UN? Okay, during this COVID time, during the COVID-19 situation, you must have heard of an organization called the WHO. Do you all remember that? It was the World Health Organization, correct? So World Health Organization is a part of the United Nations, and this is the logo of the United Nations. So that brings us to the chapter that we are going to do today. It is about the United Nations. It is chapter 15 from our SST textbook, and this is for grade 5. So this chapter is about United Nations for grade 5. All right. Now let's look at what we are going to study in this video today. In this video, we are going to learn about United Nations, how it was formed, why was it formed, what is its purpose, what does it do, what are the principles of the United Nations and the organs of the United Nations. So these are the things that we are going to look at in today's video. Alright, now before we do that, I want you to see this image, and it skipped my mind, but you need to keep a paper and a pen handy so that you can do your work. You can take down notes, and you can also make small short notes about what I'm sharing. So if it strikes you, you should make a note of it. Okay, what does this show? This image shows of a few boys fighting, correct? It looks like they are having an argument. Now this is a situation which happens with most of us at home, correct? We fight with our brothers and sisters, we fight with our parents, we fight with our family, we fight with our cousins. Okay, not fight exactly, but we have an argument, correct? Because it is family, what do you do? How do you resolve? How do you sort out your differences with your friends or with your family, with your cousins? How do you do that? You do that usually because we are at home, we usually go to the elders at home, correct? We go to our parents, we go to our family, uncles and aunts if they are at home, or our grandparents, and we ask them to resolve our issue. We ask them to sort out our fight or our argument, correct? Or solve our problem. But what happens when there is an argument between countries? What do they do? Okay, What do countries do when they have an argument? All right. What happens if that argument becomes too big? All right. What happens? Can you think about it? What happens because of that? Usually, sometimes if the argument becomes too large or too big to contain, it can lead to wars. Okay, and that brings us to the main wars, big wars that took place in our world. The First World War. This is an image from the First World War, and it shows soldiers with their weapons going to fight. All right. Now, many people died during the First World War, and you need to make a note of this, so please keep a paper and pen handy. And I have also kept a quiz at the end of this video, so you should be able to make notes so that it will help you write the answers for the quiz. Okay, so this First World War started in 1914 and it lasted till 1918, so that's like 4 long years. Okay, and it shows how violent the situation was, how difficult the situation was for people, for countries to not be able to sort out their issues. So what happened from 1914 to 1918, different countries kept joining each other and they kept forming parties, and they kept fighting with each other. Okay, but what happened because of that? What was the consequences of those wars? What happened was that many people lost their lives. Millions of people lost their lives, and it was very sad. Because of that, many countries lost their economy. They had lots of financial losses, because wars are not cheap, they're very expensive. So a lot of money goes into these wars, and because of wars, a lot of business does not happen. If there is no business, there is no economic growth. So those are the results of a war. So what happened after the First World War? Many of the countries got together and they felt that we should not have any more wars. So what was the solution that they came up with? They came up with this League of Nations. What is it? It is a group of countries who came together to form the League of Nations. Okay, now what does this mean? League of Nations was a group of countries which decided to come together, and they decided that they would try to negotiate or to discuss if there's an argument, or if there's a conflict, or if there's a fight between two countries or more countries, then they would try to, instead of going into war, they would try to resolve it by talking it out, by discussion. Okay, but what happened because of that? Did the League of Nations succeed? No, it did not succeed. How do we know that? We know that because the World War II took place. Okay, the World War II took place, and this happened in the year, and it was from 1939 to 1945, and this was more worse in the consequences, in the terms of consequences. So what happened? Many people died. There were a lot of atrocities or more cruelty done on the people by the people who were winning the war, by the countries who were winning the war. All right, so then for so many years they were able to ruin different countries. They were able to capture many countries, and those countries they destroyed. So there was a huge destruction. There was a lot of loss during the Second World War. Many people died. There were other than people dying in war, there were many people who were killed for their ideologies. Okay, based on the ideologies of the Nazis, there were many people who were killed. All right, so all this destruction seemed too much. And how did the World War II end? The World War II ended because of the atomic bombs were dropped on two cities of Japan, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And this obviously happened in 1945, and that is why the war finally ended. Now what happened because of these atomic bombs? Where did I say they were dropped? The atomic bombs were dropped on two Japanese cities, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Now these were atomic bombs, and this is the image of the atomic bombing. They could see the smoke from very far away, in fact even from the space. So this is an image from the space actually. Alright, so you could see it was that intensive, and these were nuclear bombs. So what happened because of that? It had a lot of radiation. The effect of the radiation was very bad, very severe. Many people were suffered because of this radiation. In fact, it went on to to a couple of generations also. So to avoid this destruction and to stop this kind of a loss or of a war from further happening, the countries decided to come together after the Second World War. This was in 1945. Okay, and they decided that the countries would do everything that they could do to prevent the wars from happening, further wars from happening. Okay, so they replaced the League of Nations with the United Nations. Now the organization that replaced the League of Nations was called as the United Nations. Now United Nations was formed by 51 countries. Okay, how many countries were a part of the United Nations in the beginning? So the founding 51 countries got together to form the United Nations, and this included India also. These are different images from the United Nations. They have their assemblies. Assembly is where they come together to discuss problems of the world, whether it is economic, whether it is social, whether it is any cultural related problem, or whether there is a lot of warfare going on in a country. So this is the forum where the countries come together to discuss. So like I said, United Nations was formed on 24th October 1945. Write down the date and remember it. So when was the United Nations formed? It was formed on 24th October 1945, and the headquarters of the United Nations is in New York City, which is in USA. So where is the headquarters of the United Nations? It is in New York City in USA. Okay. So these are the important points that you need to remember about the United Nations. One, it was formed after the Second World War to prevent any further wars in the world. Apart from this, they also take care of social, economic and cultural issues. Alright, they have different organizations which do this for the United Nations. We will study about them further. Apart from this, the goals of the United Nations are written in the Charter of United Nations. Alright, goals of the United Nations. What are the United Nations supposed to take care of? What are they going to do? These goals are written in the Charter of the United Nations. And how many founding countries were there? 51 original founding countries were there during the formation of United Nations in 1945. Alright, this included India also. Now apart from this, the United Nations, what are the goals? Like I said, okay, their job is to basically take care of peace and security, sustainable development, human rights, humanitarian assistance. So these are the goals of the United Nations, which we will look in the further slides. Alright, so basically that was a poster from the United Nations. You could make a poster like that. Now we are going to look at the purpose of United Nations. Now like I said, it is to maintain international peace and security. It is supposed to maintain peace between countries so that it doesn't grow into a war. So if two countries are having an argument or a conflict, so instead of going for an all-out war, the United Nations tries to talk to the leaders of both the countries and tries to maintain peace. Tries to see to it that the countries don't go and have a war, don't start a war. Okay. Then another goal or the purpose of the United Nations is to take effort to see that in case there is some country which is trying to, or some group of organizations who are trying to create a scary atmosphere, or is trying to create a conflict within a country or within two countries, then it is a job of the United Nations to stop this from happening. So it is supposed to remove the threats. Threats means danger. Alright, so it is a job of the United Nations to remove the threats that can endanger peace. Alright, create a danger to peace. And it is also the job of the United Nations to extend, to create relationships between these countries. So that is why they have these assemblies. Assemblies are gatherings of the leaders of these countries so that they can come together, they can talk to each other, they can know each other. And then they have exchange programs. So what happens because of that? There is more information that is being shared. So because of that, they become a little more friendly to each other. So next time they don't feel they have an argument or something of that sort, they try not to go and have a war, but instead they'll try to negotiate. Negotiate means to talk and try to sort out the issues in such a way that both the parties or both the countries feel happy, satisfied with the results. Now another purpose of the United Nations is to take care of humanitarian values. Now what does humanitarian values mean? Now many countries have very severe laws against people or against societies or against tribes, because all for the sake of development. So they cause a lot of issues. Because of that, many people, sometimes it is a conflict between two communities. So all this could could end in a war or in a conflict. So the United Nations tries to solve these problems by negotiating, by bringing both these two different parties or two, three, depending on how many people are involved. These different organizations are brought together by the United Nations to talk about and sort out their differences. Alright. Apart from this, they are supposed to, like I said, economic, social, cultural and humanitarian problems. These are the jobs of the United Nations. So humanitarian, what are the humanitarian things that the United Nations takes care of? Now let's take the COVID situation. Okay, the COVID-19 situation is a pandemic and it is spreading all across the world, but the countries which are richer have more facilities to fight these diseases. Apart from this, there are many countries who are not able to fight the pandemic very efficiently. What happens because of that? Many people die. Alright. Apart from not only the COVID-19 situation, there are many other diseases which have created violent situations or very desperate situations in some countries. That is when the United Nations has always got together, given their support, uses their support to help organizations within the United Nations to go and help these different countries that are in need or places that are in need of their help. So this is the job of the United Nations. Apart from that, United Nations also works for human rights. It also works for fundamental freedom, your freedom of speech, your freedom of living, your freedom to study, right to education. So these are all different fundamental freedoms which we have as a right or as citizens of the world. So it should not be restricted on the basis of race, on the basis of culture, or on the basis of the origin of your of the human being. So United Nations tries to work with the governments of those countries in a peaceful manner to bring about policy changes so that the country starts taking care of all the people in their own countries. Alright. And it also tries to keep peace among all the nations and tries to bring all the nations together to work for the benefit of the citizens of the world. Now there are some principles that these countries have to follow. One, if you are a member of the United Nations, you need to, if you are a country that is a part of the United Nations, you need to solve your problems not by fighting or by having a war, but by negotiating, by peacefully discussing with the other country and trying to have resolutions or to find solutions to your arguments or your differences. Second, those countries are not supposed to create a situation which would endanger the whole world's peace. So these are all principles to help avoid a world war, so that the whole world doesn't start fighting with each other. Because one country starts a war with another country, then what happens? 2-3 countries join the other sides, and then it starts becoming larger. The war starts becoming larger. So to stop such a situation, all the member countries of the United Nations are supposed to resolve their issues peacefully, and they will not use force against any country for their benefit. So these are the principles that the countries that belong to the United Nations have to follow. Alright. Now how does the United Nations function? If it has to take care of so many activities, it is supposed to maintain international peace, it is supposed to maintain humanitarian efforts. It is supposed to take care of human rights also. So many things to take care of. How can one organization do it? So it cannot be done. So that is why, for better efficiency, the United Nations has 6 organs. Okay, how many organs does it have? 6 organs. And the headquarters of the United Nations is in New York City, like I told you, in USA. Apart from the headquarters in New York, they have 3 regional headquarters. Okay, they have other 3 regional headquarters which are distributed in different parts of the world, with Geneva, which is in Switzerland. All right, next is Vienna, which is again in Europe, and the 3rd regional headquarter is in Nairobi. All right, so which are the 3 headquarters, regional headquarters? They're Geneva, Vienna and Nairobi. This is the entrance to the Nairobi United Headquarters. Looks beautiful. So I thought of sharing that picture. So these are the different headquarters of the United Nations. Now these are the offices where they have their meetings, they have their discussions, they try to solve the problems and they try to resolve those area issues. Now apart from these organs, they also have the different assemblies or different groups or organizations within the United Nations, which the organs of the United Nations which take care of different aspects of the United Nations work. So we saw principles and we saw purpose. So in purpose there were many criteria, many points which the United Nations is supposed to take care of. Now how does it do that? It does it through the 6 organs. Which are these 6 organs? First is the General Assembly, the Security Council, Economic and Social Council, Trusteeship Council, International Court of Justice and Secretariat. Alright, let me just repeat the 6 organs of the United Nations. First is the General Assembly, Security Council, the 3rd is Economic and Social Council, Trusteeship Council, International Court of Justice and the Secretariat. Alright, we will be looking into these organs in detail in the next video. Today I am just going to give you the names of the organs. Please draw this diagram at home and make it a point to learn the different 6 organs of the United Nations. You all need to know this. Now I hope you all have been paying attention. So I am going to put up the quick quiz right now. If you have not, try being a little honest. I know the video is with you, so you can always go back and copy the answer, but don't do that. Try to recollect what the information that you have studied in this video, that you will have gone through in this video, and think about the answers and try solving the answers that you can. Okay, so do this on a page. All right, so the first question: the First World War lasted from dash or blank to 1918. All right, the First World War lasted from blank to 1918. Think about the answer. Just write the answer. No need to write the whole statement. The next statement: the League of Nations was formed to blank further wars. The League of Nations was formed to dash further wars. Can you think about the answer? The third one: the Second World War broke out in blank. The Second World War broke out in blank. I know it's very easy to go back into the video, just rewind and find the answer, but it would have been better if you had paid attention. The fourth one: atomic bombs were dropped in Japanese cities of blank and Nagasaki. Atomic bombs were dropped on Japanese cities of blank and Nagasaki. Hope you all have written the answer. Number 5. The League of Nations was replaced by blank nations. The League of Nations was replaced by blank nations. Number 6. United Nations was formed on dash October 1945. United Nations was formed on blank October 1945. Number 7. There are dash founding members of the UN. This is easy. There are blank founding members of the United Nations. Number 8. The United Nations functions through blank organs. The United Nations functions through blank organs. Number 9. The United Nations headquarters is in blank blank city, dash dash city. The United Nations headquarters is in dash dash city. Which city? Number 10. The 3 UN regional headquarters are in Geneva, blank, and Nairobi. The 3 United Nations regional headquarters are in Geneva, blank, and Nairobi. Let's quickly check our answers. I hope you all have got it right. Obviously, after copying, everybody gets it right. But it would have been those who genuinely attempted the quiz. I hope you all have good results. The First World War lasted from 1914 to 1918. Alright, the First World War lasted from 1914 to 1918. The second answer, the League of Nations was formed to prevent further wars. It was formed to prevent, to stop from more wars from happening. The third one, the Second World War broke out in 1939. The Second World War broke out in 1939. Number 4, atomic bombs were dropped on Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The atomic bombs were dropped on Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. That is what brought the end of the Second World War. 5. The League of Nations was replaced by United Nations. The League of Nations was replaced by United Nations. Number 6. United Nations was formed on 24 October 1945. United Nations was formed on 24 October 1945. Number 7. There are 51 founding members of the United Nations of UN, including India. There are 51 founding members of the UN, including India. Number 8. The UN functions through 6 organs. How many organs? 6 organs. If you remember the diagram, I have told you. Alright? You all need to know the names. Number 9. The UN headquarters is in New York City. The UN headquarters is in New York City. Number 10. The 3 UN regional headquarters. The 3 UN regional headquarters are in Geneva, Vienna, and Nairobi. Alright, the answer is Vienna. So these are your answers for the for the quiz. I hope you all have been paying attention. Take care of yourselves, all the students of Pratibha International School. I know you are all not yet watching the videos. There are many of you all who are still not leaving your names in the comment box. If you leave your name in the comment box, that is the only way I will be able to mark your attendance. And so far I have observed that many of you all are not watching the videos. Some are watching one video and then not watching the rest. So please stop doing that. Take care. Start taking your studies seriously. Put your name and your whole name below this video in the comment box. Another thing that I wanted to tell you is that I have turned the captions on for this video, for all the videos in fact. So if you turn the captions on YouTube for yourself, on your when you sign in, I think you can do that. You will be able to read all the words that I am saying. So in case I'm not clear or my screen is not clear, you will be able to read the words that will come on the video. Okay, so you can turn your captions option on. Please do that. It will help you, I'm sure. All right. So let me stop here. Take care of yourselves. In case of any doubts, please send me a mail and I will try to clear it out. All right. Thank you so much.